Well, I'll be honest with you, Shay. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's hard to tell if you're joking because you
Uh-huh.
say a lot of funny things, or
Yeah,
you
I
say.
do.
Actually, I'm going to back this up. I don't think you actually say a lot of funny things. I
Okay.
think you say a lot of things funny.
Wait, what is the difference? What did I say that's funny?
It's the difference between like being a comedian and being a comic.
Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode. Before we get started, make sure you show a little love. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up button. If you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave us a review. Any other platform that you're on, whatever the love looks like, show a little, and then let's get started.
Humble Trader, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? And your corpse?
I am Corb. Yes. It's
Oh,
very
what
nice
time
to
you're in
meet
a ski lodge?
you. Yeah, I could see that. It's especially with your Canadian background. I'm sure you have a very snowy filter how to see the world.
Yeah, no, I'm so jealous. I wish I was snowboarding this week.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for stopping by and welcome to my YouTube channel.
Cool. Where are you located?
I live in Connecticut, but I am currently in Colombia.
Oh,
Have you ever been
Okay.
this far south?
No, I have never been south of, I guess, south of Florida.
Really? Would you consider
Yeah.
yourself a homebody? Are you not much of a traveler?
I like to travel, but I don't like to travel all the time. I just came back from like 2 months in Asia.
Oh, okay. That's a
Yeah.
proper trip then.
Yeah.
But there's no place like home, I guess.
Yeah.
So today it's Wednesday. Before we jump into it, tell me about it. How was your day? Don't leave anything out. Tell me everything.
It was pretty good. I
I feel like
grocery
you're leaving some
shopping.
stuff out.
I went grocery shopping and they ran out of eggs. That's
Oh, you're out of eggs?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It was like $9 for like a carton of eggs and they ran out. I was like, what the? So that's a highlight of my day.
Really? Okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna help walk you through this a little bit because I feel like you're still leaving some stuff out on me.
Okay.
Start me here. What time did you go to bed last night?
I went to bed around like 10 p.m. my local time here.
Is that normal?
It's a little bit later than normal. Usually I sleep at like 9:30. I'm on the West Coast in Vancouver, so yeah, so I have to sleep early and wake up early.
So what was the wild night staying up till 10 o'clock for?
Super wild, I know. I went to watch a hockey game last night. Canucks versus Dallas Stars. Woo, we won. Yeah, it was like 5-2. It was victory for Canucks, and we never win anything, so that's why it's exciting.
Oh, today's a happy day then. We should be celebrating all day today.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Did you dream last night?
No, I did not. I usually don't have dreams.
Oh,
Yeah.
for shame, Shay. You should try it. If it's not for dreams, sleep would be very boring.
Well,
The reason I
usually,
actually even ask is I had the craziest dream last night to where
Okay.
But enough about me, humbled trader. It's good to have you in the building. I know you're in Canada right now. How
Yeah.
is everything in Canada?
It's starting to get warmer now, but other than that, so good. It was really cold, but it was really good for snowboarding the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Do you do Celsius or Fahrenheit over there?
We do Celsius.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the current temperature right now?
Right now, it's really warm, actually. It's like 8 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's really
Anyway.
warm. Yeah. But
Okay.
last week, 2 weeks ago, it was like -10.
I tell you, it's interesting because where I'm at in Connecticut, it's cold. Not your version of cold, I'm sure. But I've been out of the States since December 29th, and it's been very warm. I kind of forget that it's winter else places in the world because it's been very warm. How is talk to me about how the Corolla is going. Do you still driving the same Corolla?
Thank you for asking. The Corolla is great, actually. I just Yeah, it might be in its like last 2 years. It's starting to have problems. But I still drive it to snowboarding. So I still have like snow tires and everything. It's fine. But maybe in like 2 more years, it has to go, sadly.
That'll be a sad day for everybody.
I
I'll tell you, it's
know, it'd be
interesting.
so sad.
It's
Yeah.
interesting having binge watch a bunch of videos from you because I'm sitting here with you and you're a complete stranger. But I
Oh,
feel like I know so many random things about you, which is
oh yeah. I was like, how does he know about the Corolla? But I was like, yeah, you watch my video.
So the Corolla you drive, it's an '03. Is it your only car, or do you have like a daily driver on the side that you don't tell people?
Yeah, I have a Lamborghini on the side.
Yeah.
That's the one I go grocery shopping in. No, actually, surprisingly, a lot of people think I have like a second car. But no, just a Corolla actually.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I
Very
don't
interesting.
drive that much to be honest.
I'm right there with you. And I'll tell you, it's going on a year ago now that I sold my car. And I went through this kind of, I parked it for a month and I just tried to Uber around everywhere.
Oh,
And I had this idea. I'm a real maverick. I'm an out of the box thinker, Shay. But I had this idea of just, you know what? I don't really drive a lot. I kind of outsource a lot of things. So I don't do a lot of tasks and I don't commute to work. And the only time I go somewhere is if I want to go somewhere to like meet people or do something. And I had the idea, I kind of like being driven around. And so I just parked my car and I tried it for like a month and I loved it so much. And so I sold my car and I haven't had a car for a long time. When
oh.
you get rid of the Corolla or when it finally has to retire, what will you do?
I'll probably have to get a new car because I do like to take the car to like, even though I don't drive often, I do like road trips and I do like being able to snowboard in the winter up the mountain. So I'll probably like get a new car or like a used SUV this time around.
Ooh, stepping
Yeah.
away from Corolla. A Toyota though, for sure, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about the RAV4. I'm on a wait list, but that's gonna take another year. So that's how I know it's tough out there trying to find a car.
Is it? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. How's the stock market doing?
In my opinion, it's pretty good this week with obviously the unfortunate event with Silicon Valley Bank last week, but because of that, it created a lot of volume and a lot of volatility in the banking sector. So this week is good.
For your own personal trading, or do you think the health of the stock market is doing well?
Well, the health of the stock market is not doing so well, in my opinion. But a lot of times when markets like volatile, that's when like traders, like day traders or like short-term swing traders, that's when we do the best. It's like because you get the range, you got volatility rather than like a really boring, like steady grind up. So for trading, it's great. Yeah.
Volatility, it is the lifeblood for us as traders. No doubt,
Yeah,
no doubt.
without it, it'll be like it can't make any money. It's like nothing moves in big range.
For sure, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Now, when you started trading, have you ever traded anything besides stocks?
Yeah, I started with stocks, and there was a period of time when I tried options. I think I tried it for like a good 3-4 months, and it just didn't work out. So, and that was after I became profitable with stocks. So I figured I should just stick with what I'm good at.
Yeah. Sometimes it works so well, we just stop doing it and we try to do something else. It's a big issue, isn't
Yeah,
it?
when you try to diversify too much, it's sometimes that's a trouble.
Sure. Have you ever traded futures?
I have not.
Why?
I look at futures sometimes when I'm trading stocks, but I have not traded futures. That's actually something I'm curious about. Not sure if I will ever like. I might try it just to see what it's like and understand it, but I don't think I'll be like a full-time futures trader.
For sure, for sure. You know, Shay, I'll tell you, after digging into your life a little bit, if I may, don't want to overstep my bounds here, but I know it's hard to self-evaluate ourselves, and sometimes it's nice to have an outside perspective speak into us. And I'll tell you, I find a pattern with you a
Mhm.
very self-destructive behavior where you
Okay.
find yourselves very close to doing a good decision and you make an okay decision instead. Here's an example. You come all the way from Taiwan and you're
Mhm.
so close to America, but you stay in Canada. You get into financial markets, you're so close to futures, but you're trading individual names of companies.
Keep going.
Where do you think this self-destructive behavior comes from, Shay?
I don't know. I feel like I don't think it's self-destructive. I think it's I take risks, but I take calculated risks. Like I'm not gonna go all out anytime.
The name of the game, calculated risk, isn't it?
Yeah, calculated risk. Yeah.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure. I feel like you already know so much, so why not?
For sure. What how do you feel about owls?
About what?
Owls, you know, like,
Owls?
yeah,
Like animal? Like
yeah,
Hedwig?
like the bird.
Like Hedwig. Yeah, like the bird. Yeah, I love owls. What
Why?
made you think I love owls? Because I used to like Harry Potter a lot, and the snow owl Hedwig was like my spirit animal. Sorry, it's kind of nerdy, but yeah, that's why I love owls so much.
That's the nerdiest thing I've heard all day, for sure.
Yeah, I'm proud of it.
What about, okay, because is that the reason why it's your logo? Because of Harry Potter?
Well, yeah, it's my favorite animal, and owls also like symbolizes like owls are really wise, right?
Yes.
They're wise and they only hunt at night when opportunity comes. So it's just like a bunch of symbols for like trading, you know, be wise, and of course I also do like trading education. So it makes sense that it will be an owl. There's a lot of stories where owls are like the teacher for like kid stories. So that's why I think owls work well for humble trader.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Who is Oren to you?
Oh, Oren?
Sure.
Yeah. So he was my mentor, I guess this is like 7 years ago, 7 years ago. He was my mentor. He was someone I met from like another like penny stock forum. And then he kind of was the person, like the person who kind of allowed me to like become really disciplined, like taught me like little tips and tricks over there. And he's the person who really stressed like risk management to me. So yeah, he's my mentor, and I'm really happy and proud to be working with him now.
Interesting. So you're still close with him and you still work with him?
Yeah. So he's still a part of my community, and we talk like almost every day.
Interesting. Very cool. What does your boyfriend think about Oren being so close in your life?
My ex-husband.
Do you really have an ex-husband?
Of course, yeah. Everyone knows that. You should know too.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Shay. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's hard to tell if you're joking because you say a lot of funny things, or
Yeah,
you
I
say,
do.
actually, I'm going to back this up. I don't think you actually say a lot of funny things. I
Okay.
think you say a lot of things funny.
Wait, what is the difference? What do I say that's funny?
It's the difference between like being a comedian and being a comic. I think like I heard Howie Mandel say this once. Comedians say funny things, comics say things funny.
Oh,
And I think if I were just to regurgitate some of the things you say, they're not funny if I say them, but you say them a funny way.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've heard the ex-husband reference several times, and it always kind of felt like it could be a joke.
Right.
Interesting. So no husband or no boyfriend in the picture, huh?
No. Only ex-husbands.
Interesting. Very interesting. So banks are collapsing here in the US.
Well,
Let me ask you this first. Are you a like a crazy rich Asian or no?
No.
Oh, so you
No.
probably have your money in some garbage banks that will likely go under. This is
Yeah,
worrying.
probably. Yeah.
What's your take on these? What's your take on the bank situation?
I think the big banks will be fine. I don't think it's like the 2008 financial crisis. I think this time around it's a lot more isolated in the small banks, and like specifically the area they are more exposed to, like the startups, the venture, like all the venture capitalist backed companies, and not so much, in my opinion, not so much the individuals. Maybe the individuals who work at the company or are founders, they will be affected, yes. But I'm talking about like everyday Americans, everyday Canadians. I don't think it's gonna affect us that much.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
That's
I
just
came
my
into this.
personal opinion.
I came into this call a little worried about the state of the world, and I'll tell you, you're really giving me a positive outlook on
Oh really?
the situation. So
Oh
this has
no.
been
Oh, okay.
this
So
has been a
you're
really
gonna
great
like
call.
take all your money out of the banks now? Bank run tomorrow?
I was gonna put it all into Bitcoin and get unbanked, but you've talked me off the ledge. So thank you.
Okay. I'm glad.
Walk me through a little bit of your trading. You trade stocks, individual names of companies,
Yeah.
and walk me through, let's say, like an average day. What does it look like for you?
Yeah, so I wake up my local time at 4:30 to 5 being the latest. And then I'll spend around 5 o'clock to 5:30, which will be like market time will be 8 to 8:30. Preparing my watch list. So I scan for stocks, I read the news, I compile a list of anything between 4 to 6 tickers I'm watching. And then so read the fundamental news. I'll create a bias, whether I'm long bias or short bias, and that
Hold on
could
a second.
be.
Not to cut you off. Do you
Okay,
wake
go
up
ahead.
and just go straight into the charts?
Well, I wake up. I don't eat breakfast. I wake up. Maybe I like brush my teeth, use the bathroom, and then 10 minutes later I'm at the charts. Yeah.
Really? No
'Cause it's so
meditation,
early.
no.
Yeah, I can't. I used to be able to like wake up, do some yoga. I used to even work out beforehand, but no, I can't anymore. It's
Why?
getting
What
too hard
happened?
to wake up 4:30.
Why?
Because I'm
Did you
getting
get
old.
COVID? Are you suffering from long COVID?
No, because I'm getting old.
Coming for all of us, Shay. It's coming for all of
Yeah.
us. Okay. So you wake up and you just hit the markets
Pretty
head
much
on.
nowadays, yeah.
Okay. Do you drink coffee?
No, I don't drink caffeine anymore.
You really do just hit the markets head on.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So sorry to interrupt. You start building your watch list, and 4 to 6 stocks that you're watching. You start looking at fundamentals. Please continue.
Mhm. Yeah, so I look at fundamentals, and then once that's figured out, I see the news, and then I have a bias. Then I go to the technicals side, like the charts, daily chart, intraday chart, and kind of like look at the levels and like the most like key levels is what I say. And that's how I'm gonna plan out how I'm gonna trade the stock, the strategies I'm gonna use, and then I'll share my plans with like the people I'm trading with.
And then you trade the market open.
Yeah, so depends on the setups or depends on the watches. Sometimes I'll even get in pre-market, but most of the times this year, at least so far, I would say I like to wait at least 10 minutes after the open, and then I'll trade. I usually place a trade within the first half an hour, and then depends on the setup or strategy, then that may last for an hour and a half, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, or half an hour.
One trade might last that long?
It could, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting. And then do you trade the morning session and then you're done for the day, or do you trade all day?
Yeah, I don't trade all day anymore. In 2020 and 21, when there was so much opportunities, I would trade the entire day. But last year and this year, I find that if I trade past 12 o'clock Eastern, then I start like doing stupid things and giving back profits, and there's not necessarily more opportunities in the afternoon. So if I'm in swing trading, then that's when I'll like enter a trade in the afternoon. But like for day trades wise, usually I'm done by 9 o'clock my time, and that's 12 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, yeah. I think that we all have a certain amount of ability to make good decisions at like one thing that we're doing, like a focus work that we're involved with.
Mhm.
And then once we get past that threshold, our ability to just stay disciplined or our ability to just keep making good decisions, it just kind of just drops off. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in not spending too much time, at least without taking some type of a significant break, from the screens. So you get done fairly early, really early, your local time.
Mhm.
What do you usually do after you get done training?
I'll take a nap.
Okay,
So yeah, I'll nap for like 40 minutes and
every
then
day?
yeah, that's it. Yeah. Power naps.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a huge
Yeah.
fan of power naps. For me, it's like 20 to like 25 minutes is like the cutoff. If I start going
Okay.
past that, I get like I start falling asleep. But like that little break for me is very nice as well. But anyway, so
Yeah.
sorry, you take a 40-minute power nap.
Yeah. So I take a nap. Then after that, then that's when like because I have a trading community, then that's when I'll see if there's any questions, people to talk to, take care of. Sometimes if I have time, I'll do the YouTube stuff, but most of the time that's on the weekends. Yeah, but usually I'm just sitting on my desk, not trading. I'll watch the market and like see how everyone else in the community are doing.
Okay. And then
Mhm.
when do you usually get done with work?
So market closes at 1 p.m. my time, but I'm usually not done till like 5 p.m.
Local
Yeah,
time?
local time. So yeah, so I'm working usually 12-hour days, 5 a.m. start, 5 p.m. end.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then what do you do after 5 p.m.?
Nowadays I might go watch a hockey game like last night, go out to eat, or I'm just at home. I'm a homebody. I could be a homebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have any shows you're watching right now?
I'm watching Love is Blind right now. Was it the third or fourth season? I'm watching that right now.
Is it good?
It's okay. It's sometimes I like watching these. Okay, I don't want to offend anyone. These brainless shows where I don't have to think after,
Yeah.
especially after trading. So that's why I like watching it. Like it's like, oh, it's entertaining, but that's about it. I don't have to think too hard at night. So
Sure.
I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And then on the weekends, do you take like completely away from the markets, or are you still kind of plugged in or doing some type of research or something, or do you just take it off?
Yeah, on the weekends, I usually will spend at least one day catching up on the market. So last week will be the Sunday where I'm following what's happening with the bailout news. So that I still spend minimum of 5 hours on Saturday or Sunday looking through the market. Trade. We have a weekend watch list that I also create every Sunday. So we'll do that and then kind of have some game plan for the next week.
Do you have an assistant?
In terms of what? I have assistant for trading? No.
No. Just like a lot in life, of your other businesses and things like this.
Oh, no. I have a team who help me run the community. And then I have a team who also help me run YouTube. But I don't have like an assistant who help me do laundries or stuff. That used to be my ex-husband.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Why do you work so hard?
Because if I don't, then what am I gonna do with my extra time?
Do you feel like there's something in life that instead of pursuing it or figuring out what it is, you just kind of revert to burying yourself in work?
Well, work is in pursuit of something, right? So for me, the work is in pursuit of, building a good YouTube channel, making videos like I want to watch. So there's always a pursuit. With a community, it's like, I want to build the best trading community and we can meet up in real life. Like that drives me. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. I definitely try to have more of a work-life balance on evenings and like one day on the weekends, and I'll take some time off too when I go travel. But no, work can be fun too. Work is not always just work. Work can be fun.
I'm glad you said it. And I said it in the beginning as I think a lot of people don't have a real purpose or a real enjoyment for their work. And instead of working on other things that they should be, they kind of just revert back to doing things that don't necessarily matter. But I think that it's a beautiful thing to build a life where what you do for work is something that you actually want to do. And it's not this thing that is separate from your life to you're like putting your life on some kind of weird hold while you're doing this, but it's just, it is your life. This is your lifestyle. These are the things that you do. It all culminates together. It all works together. And even some of the things you do that are for strictly pleasure, somehow they also tie back into furthering some type of a mission, you know, and it's a great way to build your life. And so I'm just glad that you are not, I care about you, Shay. I'm glad you're not just burying yourself in work to avoid other things.
Oh, what am I trying to avoid?
No, nothing. I'm glad you're not. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
So talk to me about this. Do you find yourself when you trade the stock market, I trade futures. You probably, did you binge watch my content before this as I did with you or no?
Yeah, I watched the Inner Circle interview that you did, Inner Circle trader interview.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're trading individual names of companies, I trade the S&P is like my bread and butter. It's the primary thing that I trade. I trade futures exclusively. So I trade the same thing every day.
Okay.
With individual names of companies that you trade, do you find that there's maybe a small group of like close to 10 that every single week at some point you're going to be trading those? Or is it just like every single day it's a different company?
Yeah. So I have like a list of go-to stocks that I'll trade, like the Meta, usually the tech names, Meta, Nvidia, AMD, Tesla. So these are kind of like the staples where if there's nothing else that pops up, those will be my default stocks I trade. And then, you know, in terms of other stocks, it depends on the week. So this week, we pretty much all traded banks every single day, Monday to today, Wednesday. So it also depends on what's happening. So, you know, earnings week, maybe 2 weeks ago, that's when you will see like, oh, almost always different stocks every day, because every day there's different earnings gap ups from like different companies. So it depends on kind of what's happening in the market.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. How is YouTube going?
YouTube's good. Yeah, we're trying to expand to like more interview styles, and I might potentially do like a video podcast on the side.
Interesting. Why is your channel so big?
Because I guess it got a lot of traction during COVID, like pandemic. Most of the time, I think most of the viewers are from that time. Yeah.
You know what's interesting is I remember seeing not that long ago. I say not that long ago. It might have been a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
I remember seeing a video from you, and I want to say you had 30,000 subscribers, and it was very interesting. I feel like you, CoffeeZilla, and there might be a couple other people that I feel like I was introduced to them at some level when they had like this, almost like this catalyst type of moment where they weren't huge, but then in a pretty short amount of time, they kind of hit these benchmarks that just really shot them up. And anyway, it was interesting to full circle, like not touch base with you or watch your content regularly, but just to see these snapshots and to see the really insane growth that's happened on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I had no idea it would be this big either.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. And do you, when it comes to like YouTube in general, is it something that is already like, it's so much bigger than you thought? Or is it something that it's big, but now you want to take it to like 2 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers? Like, is it something that you actively have goals of just like keeping growing?
I think that's an interesting question, because when I first started YouTube, I thought I'll hit like 1,000 subscribers in 2 years.
Sure.
Because it started out as like a passion project, right? Like I didn't know, I was trading full time. I didn't know what to do with my time after markets closed. I was still trading the whole day, but my day would end at 1. So that's when I didn't know what to do. So that's why I started a YouTube channel, to have something to do. So it kind of became like this thing now where I think I would say I love it 80% of the time. And there are 20% of the time where I get tired. I don't like the way the algorithm is. Sometimes you get hate comments. That's like 20% of the time when I hate YouTube. But I would say it's it's one of the, even more than trading, it's one of the most fulfilling and the most satisfying thing that I ever done, running this YouTube channel. So in a way, it is my baby. So I've been through so much in the last 3 years while running the YouTube channel, both in my personal life, in my career, in trading and business. So like every time nowadays, if I go see my past videos, it reminds me of where I was at a certain point of time, 2 years ago, a year ago. So, in a way, it's like I do want to keep it going. Not because of, I want to hit 1 million subscriber, I want to hit 2 million. It's just like I feel like it's a way of me documenting my life, and it's kind of like a diary kind of. So if I look back, I will see all the what I looked like, what I sounded like, whether I sound sad or happy. So yeah, and obviously like all the friends and all the subscribers that you start like seeing and meeting online and in person along the way, that's way more worthwhile than anything I've done in my life. So that's why it's always going to be my baby.
I'm hearing from you that this conversation is worth it all for you, the people you get to meet online. And I thank you for the kind words that you just said.
Yeah.
No, but it's very cool. I think building a YouTube channel is, it's very interesting. Have you ever had any beef with another YouTuber?
No, I don't. Yeah, I think beef. No, I don't think so.
I hear online drama is
a lot of beef on YouTube, but no, I've never gotten involved.
Yeah. I mean, online drama is a great way to grow the channel, but no beef.
That's
You
true.
just grew it the old-fashioned way. Good on you. Good on you. What are your thoughts on funding companies for traders? Online funding companies specifically. Yeah.
Like if I was trader, I don't have capital, I want to get funded.
Yeah. I actually, do they have good companies like this for stock traders or no?
They do. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on
it? I never looked into it, but I think it depends on what's required. And is the purpose to get traders to apply to get funding when they already know how to trade, or is the purpose they're brand new, they're getting funding to learn how to trade? So I think there's a difference there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think getting started with trading is very difficult, and it's very easy to lose the value of a dollar because the way things just move around, and it's very easy while you're going through the learning curve to just do quite a bit of damage. And there always has to come this point in your trading journey where you go to proof of concept, where you've learned some things, somehow you've practiced them, and then you need to take that into some type of a real environment. I find that the funded trader programs allow for that transition very nicely, where there is an actual risk to reward that's not the same as a simulator, but it's not as aggressive as being in the market, because it's very, especially in the world that I'm in with futures, these are very large products, and there's nothing smaller than one. And when I started, there was no micro contracts, so these were very big things, and I was always undercapitalized. It was one of my biggest issues for sure. So yeah, I was interested if you had any thoughts on funding trader companies. To say they're not perfect, and I think there's some massive improvements that need to happen with the space. But they're very interesting, and I think that they have a place. I wish that the overall space, I wish, improved a little bit, and I think it will. But
in what way? In terms of regulation, or?
It's the companies right now are very much in the business of traders trying to get funded. They're not in the business of traders being funded.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so they're very incentivized. If you don't know how to navigate the space, there are ways to mitigate this and to actually have a path forward. But if you just join a company and just join one of their tryouts or something, you're just on a path that's going nowhere, and you might not even know it.
Because you have to pay to join that program.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I see how. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, if they're in the business of like helping traders succeed and get funded, I feel like that business has more longevity.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like there needs to be some better companies like that come along, because I feel the ones right now are a little bit on the cash grabby side. I think they're still legitimate in the sense if you do it, they'll pay you and they're good for it and all of that. But that's an interesting space to keep an eye on. And if you don't really watch it, then we can move on to a different topic.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you this. You work with a lot of traders. You see a lot of traders. A lot of traders come through your channel and your group. What would you say the retail trader space in general, what would you say the overall health is? Like on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being everybody who tries trading is going to just make tons of money. 1 being nobody who comes along is going to make money doing this. Where would you say like the average trader, what do you think where do you think they're at?
I think it depends on, are we talking about traders who just entered within the last 6 months, or traders who have been here for like more than a year? Because it's drastically different. I would say like if someone who's like within the first 6 months, they are going to lose so much money and most people are going to quit. So they're going to be in the first category of where 90% of the people fail. And then, but like you can fail and like keep on trying. And after 1 year, then you have like a drastically higher probability of succeeding. So it depends on like where they are in the timeline. Most people don't like give up, not because like from what I've seen, not because they've lost all their money, but because they can't stand losing anymore. So that usually happens within the first 6 months. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I mean, I do believe that because I was losing for like a year, and then like second year is when things started going somewhere. So that's why I was thinking that, okay, I almost gave up so many times within my first year. So I could have just, gave up and never come back, and and that's it. Like I'll move on to something else. But the fact that I had to kind of like keep on refunding my account my first year from my job, and like still keep on trying after losing so much. So I think it is trial by fire, and it is like both. You need to put the time, and also you need to be able to endure that losing period for the first 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
For
sure. It's an interesting thing, because I feel that I don't have a lot of contact with retail traders. In my perspective of it would be kind of small, and I think that the majority of the people that would come across me or that I would even get involved with would be people that are probably focused on the volume profile, people that are probably focused on futures trading. And I find that this tends to be much more aggressive and kind of even an older demographic, and kind of a more focused on career oriented, as opposed to maybe people in the Forex market. Or I think there's larger groups of people there that have no idea what they're actually doing or what the job actually is of trading, but it's just something that they're somehow involved with. And when I look kind of as an outsider at these other markets, and I would say penny stocks would be one of these that I would group into as well. Is I wonder how like the overall health of retail traders, because I think it's becoming much more popular in the last several years.
Yeah.
And I wonder if retail traders in general like are on a good path, or if in general it's just a mess and retail traders like really need the help right now. And that's, I think, with the direction I was going with it. If you think like on a scale from 1 to 10, from your perspective, do you think like overall people that get into this space and people that are trading, are they just lost and they really don't understand what they're doing? Or do you think that somehow they're like, you would rate it over a 5 and they're on a good path, they understand, they just need to stick with it and have discipline and tidy some stuff up.
Mhm. Yeah, I would say the people who are in general, the people who are still trading after 2022 and now 2023, they are on a good path. Like I would say the health score will be more than 5. But if you're asking me during 2020 and 21, that would be like less than 1, because like it was so popular. Anyone and everyone was trying to trade. So at the time, like all my friends who were previously in or out of the market were trading. So I think that was when you had the highest amount of, I guess, for lack of a better term, like dumb money, and like people who don't really want to put in the work. I think that's what it comes to. Like the people who are learning now and trying to make it in 22 and 23, these are the people who have a much better chance of surviving, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're in the markets right now, you're over 5. You've heard it here first from Shay.
Over 5, yes.
You got good faith in the banking system, good faith in the retail market. You continue to just boost my spirits just by talking to you, Shay. I tell you, I'm getting so much out of this conversation. Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
What's your deal with Buzz Lightyear?
Oh, yeah. It's like yeah. So Buzz Lightyear is from Disney Pixar, right?
Sure.
So I used to work in animation, so it was closely related to what I was doing for work.
You designed Buzz Lightyear?
No, I did not. I wish. No, that was like before my time. But like Buzz Lightyear and like the whole Toy Story is considered a classic in animation. And like it's the first ever 3D animated film in the world. So that's why like it's classic, and like it was a gift that's given by one of my friends in college. So it's been with me since college, essentially.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any other toys that you're proud of?
I have a lot of plushies, like those corgi plushies. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I have
The dog, the corgi?
Yeah, corgi plushies. Yeah, I like those.
Interesting. I don't think I know what that is. I know what corgis are though. So I can draw a mental picture.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have a dog?
No, I do not.
Why?
Because I like traveling. When I like to be away for like months at a time. So that'll be difficult to like have a dog.
Sure.
Mhm.
When you through your day and day being in the financial industry, do you have any vices, Shay?
Do I have any vices?
Yeah.
Like in terms of how I get through the day?
Sure. I was leaving it kind of open-ended, but yeah, you got anything that help you get through the day?
Not really. Like, because when people say vices, they're talking about like, alcohol or like drugs, right?
Sure.
That's what you mean?
Could be those.
Oh no, I only drink on weekends during the day. Like my life is actually very boring. Yeah, I drive my Corolla. I just like to enjoy nice meals, and I try to cook. That's it. Like I don't even enjoy coffee that much. Someone's gonna get angry at me for saying that, but I don't even enjoy coffee that much. So I mean, I have a pretty boring life. Nothing that exciting.
Interesting. I hate to hear you say that about yourself, because I don't think you have a boring life. I think you have a very interesting life. You have a very interesting conversation to have. Okay. I have conversations with a lot of people, and you're doing really well with this one, for what that's worth.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. I forgot what exactly vices. Okay, so you don't, you strike me as somebody that has some good, clean living. You give off the vibe, I think.
Clean living? What does that mean?
Good, clean living, just
like
clean, yeah. Like no drugs, no alcohol.
Oh. Okay.
No crazy things that destroy the temple.
Okay.
Something along this line. I get that kind of. You give off that as a vibe, I think. So I can see it. Have you ever done a recreational drug?
Yeah, I have. It's legalized in Canada.
Interesting. You
Yeah.
old rascal, you. I just take back everything I just said.
Whoa! What happened to me having a clean life?
I don't. You misled me.
Oh
apparently.
no, that turned quickly.
What's the deal with women trading in the markets? Let me tell you my perspective, and I'd be interested to hear yours. I feel that massively dominated by men, most traders.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's a bit of a shift, maybe not even beginning to happen, but that's been happening, where it seems like there is a lot more interest from women in trading, which it's always been such a heavily male dominated deal. Do you feel that as the same perspective, that there's a much migration over of women trading, or do you not feel that way?
I think there's always been women traders, but I think it is only recently that we started seeing more and more, because generally speaking, like women traders they're more quiet, right? They're not the type to like create a YouTube channel and talk about trading. So I'm sure there are female traders before me, they're just like doing their own thing and like, and don't really want to put themselves out there, and that's fine. That's kind of why I realized I went to like a trading conference last year in Las Vegas, and there were a lot of women traders, and they were saying, yeah, you are like the first female trader I see in public who has like a channel and who talks about trading. Like no one does that. So I know there are female traders, and I think it's only now that we're noticing more and more, because hopefully there are more females like starting to like put themselves out there, talk publicly that they are a trader, because there's always that stigma, right? Like you don't want to say, oh, you're a trader, because people are gonna think you're a gambler. So, but I think it's that stigma is hopefully kind of like, becoming less and less. So now there's less shame involved with like, oh, saying that I'm a trader, I'm a full-time trader as my career. So I think that's why you start seeing more and more female traders now. But I think they've always been here, less than men, sure. But I think there's, they've always been here.
It's very interesting you should say that about the stigma around trading, because
Yeah.
especially like I'm at a point now where I feel like when your life gets to a certain place, you're just confident in what you do, and it's good. But I remember I used to, for a long time, really emphasize the fact that I traded commodities because I had a very bad opinion of somebody who was like trading Forex or trading something else. And I always looked at this as just like, I don't want to be lumped in with that group. And it's interesting you say it as well.
Yeah, see, yeah, it's exactly like that, right? Same as the crypto traders. There's always been crypto. I have a friend who been crypto trading for 10 years, but like he used to be like, don't want to tell anyone about it. But it's only in the last couple of years that he said, oh yeah, I'm a crypto trader. That's how I'm able to fund my lifestyle. That's how I'm able to support my family. So like things change, and that's the same with like, females starting to be more comfortable saying that they are traders.
Yeah, interesting. Do you think there's a good place in the markets for people that want to do this very recreationally? In a sense that I feel the markets are very competitive. It's very eat what you kill, very performance based. And my perspective of coming into this, even when I was doing a different job as well, and I know you when you were doing a different job as well, but I think it seems like both of us were always on a path of wanting to do this full time. We transitioned into doing this full time, and it is something that we do full time. And I've never approached this with the idea that I wanted to keep what I was doing and also do this. Like it was always from the time I started doing this, like this is the thing I wanted to do. And I think if that ever changed, I would have just stopped doing it completely. But do you think in the markets it needs to be approached that way, where you have to take this seriously and this has to be the thing that you do? Or do you think there's a good place in the markets for people that want to do this as a very passively?
So I think there is a place for people who want to do this passively or part-time, or only spend like a couple hours a week on it. I think it's possible. But I think to get there, you have to be able to put in your full-time effort at first. So to get there, you have to be able to grind 20 hours a week to really understand, and like you have to get through that learning curve to get to a place where you can just like chill and cruise around and like just swing trade or place 1 or 2 trades per week or per month. So I think that's possible, but like to get there, you have to like put in 100% of your effort.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's some good words for sure.
Yeah, so I think if I were to decide that, hey, I want to stop day trading and I only want to swing trade, I think I would be able to do that and just like, put more size onto my swing trades and look at my positions once a week. I think I can, but then that's only because I've, grinded for like the last 8 years on this.
Mhm. Yeah. That's a really, really nice way to say it, I think.
Mm.
When in your own personal trading right now, do you feel that there is, maybe I'll even say it like this. For me, I feel there are things that I just constantly have to be on guard about. And it's almost this process of if I don't give these things focus and attention, they just kind of creep right back in. And it's always like this on guard thing for me. So as a, for instance, one of these things for me is overtrading. It is very, even right now, it's probably like my besetting sin in my trading, to where if I never overtraded and if I strictly took the high quality trades that I know I need to, I would be at a completely different level in my trading. And I this is probably the thing stopping me from being a 7-figure earner. Like I really believe this. And so it's a thing I'm actively working on. And it's been a thing I've always been working on. And I feel like when I stop actively in my trading, safeguarding against that and giving that attention, it just creeps in so easily for me. It's insane. Do you have things in your own personal trading that you feel are like these anchors that no matter how far you go in your trading, they're just kind of, they're always going to be there that you have to safeguard against? Or do you feel like you've overcome certain things and they're not even issues anymore?
Yeah, so there are things I've overcome, like the stopping trading at 9 o'clock Eastern. Like that, I'm really good about it now. So it used to be that I wouldn't want to step away, and I'll just, like you said, overtrade, and I'll stick around for like 2 extra hours. And that's when I'll lose a lot of money. So that specific thing I've overcome and I'm happy about it. But the other one that, still like, I fall. I'm a human. Like sometimes I still do stupid things. It's like, let's say if I'm down, like I'm hit max loss on the day. Let's say my max loss on the day is $100. If I hit that, sometimes I've been really good recently. I'll say this year, but sometimes I want to like, I just want to make back that $100.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my issue. This year I've been pretty good about it, but last year is what usually cost me to like turn like a small red day into like a big one. But yeah, that happens, I'll say like once every 2 months or so. But this year I've been really good about it. But that's the thing I'm always have to be really conscious about.
Sure. When you start experiencing some drawdown.
Yeah, like it's small ones too, but that would trigger me.
Sure. Yeah, that's very interesting. Are you a bit of a perfectionist?
In certain areas of life, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Kind of like if you have kind of a bigger drawdown, it's just like, okay, things went wild here or whatever. But when you have like that little drawdown, it's just
it's like, I can easily fix this. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. With your own personal trading, how important is it to you to like monitor? Do you have certain KPIs that you monitor that are just like, these are my core ones I always have to keep an eye on? Or how do you do about like the numbers of your trading business?
Yeah. I always tally up my risk reward at the end of the month. So how much risk I'm using to like make how much money. And like I want to make sure it's always like, risk reward is usually like 1 to 3 or like 1 to 4 and more. If I see it's like 1 to 1 or 1 to 2, then that tells me I need to like, watch out and like kind of be more disciplined about my trading and perhaps dive into deeper and see what's causing that. So that's my KPI.
How do you come up with that number? Do you look individually at every trade at how much you were risking and what actually ended up happening, and then you compile that, or how do you factor that in day to day?
Yeah. So what I do is I have a journal where I tally all my trades and I put them into categories. So categories are certain setups, right? So then I'll look at, because how I risk is per setup, the risk is the same. So like each trade I take, let's say it's $100, the risk is always $100 set. So if let's say I lost 300 and then I made 1,000, and like I tally all my trades and look at the average. So I know like always the risk is always 100, right? So if I made, hypothetically speaking, like 3x, right? Let's say my losses on average are 150 and my wins on average 400. So that's, I look at the average. So it'll be 1 to 3 and more. This will be like 1 to 3.5. So that's really good. But if I look at all my individual losing trades and my winning trades, and the winning trades are only a tad more than the losses, like I look at all the averages. And then that's how I know, okay, for this specific setup, my risk reward is really bad because I'm losing a lot. And then when I lose the same amounts as I'm winning. So it's either I'll remove that setup completely or like going and tweak my entries.
Very interesting. So the only real KPI you look at is risk to reward?
Yeah, risk reward, that's the biggest one. There's also things like, how many consecutive red days and consecutive green days I have. If I have really long streak of consecutive red days, then that's also a bad sign, which knock on wood hasn't happened that long. Consecutive means like more than 3 days to me. And then green days, I want to look for consecutive green days. And usually when I see that, then I'll size up. If I see, I'm making like, having green days for like 5-6 days straight, I'm going to size up. That means 2 things. I'm trading well, I'm really disciplined, and the market condition is favoring the way I trade.
Yep. Very good. Very good. When you journal, strictly electronic, or do you do something with pen and paper?
It's all on Excel spreadsheet. Yeah.
Really interesting. Interesting. Have you ever tried journaling with, or like personally, do you do anything with like a written journal?
I tried. It didn't go anywhere.
Did you try? How hard did you really try?
I tried it for a month.
Oh, yeah. And what happened? No benefit?
I didn't enjoy it. I don't enjoy like picking out a pen and write.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
You don't meditate either?
I know all the benefits of meditating, and I tried and I just fell asleep. So clearly I'm not doing something right.
Well, I think if you're meditating and you fall asleep, that means your body needed rest, for sure.
Yeah.
You track your sleep? Like with an Oura ring or something?
No, I kind of do want to get I heard it's good. I want to get it. I tried the Apple Watch, but it wasn't accurate.
No, you got to get an Oura ring for sure. Yeah, very nice. With my bad dream last night, I had a 68 sleep score, which is pretty rough.
Do you have an Oura ring?
Yeah, I wear it every night.
Oh, okay. Maybe I will get it.
I don't wear it for anything else. Like it tracks a bunch of other things if you want. I don't like wear it through the day though. I don't like it, but I wear it when I go to sleep. And it's very interesting because it's wild, like really wild what a good night's sleep will do. And I think that if you would have asked me before, like, do you sleep well? I'd be like, sure, great, whatever. And when you actually start putting some numbers to it, you're like, wow, this is interesting. And even like today, 68 sleep score, I notice such a dramatic difference. Like when I'm trying to get a workout in, what my body's able to do with a bad sleep score compared to what I'm able to do that same exercise if I had an 80% readiness score, it would just be like night and day difference. It's very interesting. But yeah, sleep's very important to me.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, a little recommendation, get yourself an Oura ring, start tracking it down. The main thing to watch is your readiness score. Get that around 80%.
80? Okay.
80% readiness score or above, and you're going to have a good life.
Oh, okay.
Longer life too, I think, from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Shay. So let me tell you something. Before I let you go, Are we in a hurry? I know we're kind of out of time. What's going on tonight? Are we rushed? Do you need to go?
In maybe like 10 minutes.
Okay. We'll start wrapping up. Have you ever heard of VWAP?
Yeah. I use VWAP.
Is it important to you?
Yes. Yeah.
It's very important to me as well. When we're looking at, let's say, your screens, or you're looking at your screens, what are all the things on, you probably have multiple time frames that you look at, but let's say the main chart that you look at, what would be everything on that chart that you have?
Yeah. So it'll be like a 2-minute or 5-minute chart. Has volume bars at the bottom. I have like a volume average indicator on the volume bar, and I VWAP over my candlesticks, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's all the indicator I use.
Yeah, it's a very simple chart. Mine would
Yeah,
actually be extremely
simple.
similar to that. I would have an intraday volume profile on it as well, but a intraday VWAP. I would have a volume with a average on the bottom. I would have cumulative delta as well, but yeah, very similar setup. Very similar setup.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, Shay, what else? I feel like I've been asking a lot of questions. Almost feels like an interrogation. You got anything
A
for me?
little bit, especially about my personal life.
Did we dive too deep? Because I didn't want to
No.
be intrusive. But like I said, it's hard to feel like I'm talking to a stranger because I just learned so much about you recently. But sometimes I forget we are strangers and I should, hold back a little bit.
Right.
So what else?
I guess, like, are you enjoying traveling and trading? Is that what you're doing right now?
I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. I've made a decision in my life. I only like to do things I enjoy.
Right.
It's interesting because I've always taken trips, just like you said, maybe 2-3 months at a time and then come back. And I've had this realization recently that I don't actually have a home. I have a house in Connecticut and it's not home. It just isn't. And I really haven't felt at home. And by home, I mean, I know what it's like to leave an area and then come back. And when you come back, coming back into your town, coming back into familiar streets, you just feel this feeling that's just home.
Yeah.
And I had that in Hot Springs, Arkansas. When I left Arkansas, that was really the last time I felt that feeling of going and coming back. And I've been a real gypsy ever since. And so it hit me as Connecticut's not home. Why am I spending so much time here? So I decided that it's important to me and I want to find a home. This is the next thing I really want to do. And I know what that looks like. And before I do it, I decided I think I want to take this entire year and just be outside of the US.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so starting in December 29th, I actually went down south. I've never been to this part of the world, Mexico, South America. And I've been blown away by it. It has been so incredible. Just the people have been amazing. The foods have been amazing. I think I've had this idea that farther down south you'll go, it's extremely dangerous and just won't be good internet and all of these things. And it's interesting because once you get down to some of these places, they're very developed, they're very safe, they're beautiful. I'm going to these places and it's kind of important to me right now just to experience open and nature and space. And even the place I'm in right now, I'm in this cabin in Colombia that's very in the woods. And I'm very remote right here to the everything around me. I can't get anything delivered. There's no Uber. None of the shops around here will do card. Everything has to be cash. It's very, remote, but the internet's great. It's very safe. The people are good. And it's just been an amazing experience. So
nice.
Traveling and trading is great. And I really like to travel places. Normally when I travel, it's Europe or that way. And the time zones are just out of whack. It's very cool traveling and just being in a time zone that's close to the US. The last trip I took before this, I went to Spain, Italy, Greece, and then Dubai. And all of those places, especially Dubai, it was just the weird hours. And then ever since this trip, it's just it feels like normal operating hours.
Yeah. Oh, so okay. So are you gonna do that for the rest of the year? Like after Colombia, where are you going?
So I started in Mexico City, and well, I started in Mexico. I went down to San Jose del Pacifico. It's kind of the shroom capital of Mexico, and I went down there to kind of get off the grid and play a little peekaboo with God. And that's actually how I ushered in the new year. And then I went to Oaxaca city, state proper. I went to Playa del Carmen, and then I spent a while in Mexico City. And then from there, I went to Colombia. And my plan loosely is to go from here to Ecuador, Peru, Chile, Argentina, Brazil. And then I want to jump over to Africa, do Cape Town. I want to climb Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, and then go up to Egypt, Israel, Jordan, India, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Vietnam, and then end in Thailand.
Oh, wow. Thailand. I was just there in Asia too. That's the one place on your list that I was just at.
Okay, interesting.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's very loosely based. I plan it like 1 month at a time. And if it ever gets to a place where I'm just like really sick of traveling and I just kind of want to be somewhere where I know what's going on, I'll change it whenever. It's no big deal. But that's like the loosely based plan. And then I'd really like to kind of just hit this aggressively and then work on, finding myself a good home and settling down a little bit, getting into that version of life, I guess.
How much is your luggage? Like how many luggages do you have with the computers and stuff?
Shay, I don't toot my own horn very often.
What do you mean? Okay.
But figuring out this luggage situation was one of the biggest accomplishments I think that I've ever done. Something I'm very, very proud of. If you can believe it, I travel with one bag, carry-on size, and with my laptop, I have extra monitors that I travel with. I have, equipment like, I travel with a full mouse even. And all my clothes, all my recreational stuff, anything that I need that's kind of like personal things, all of my work setup, all of it. I've found a way to fit it into one carry-on bag that will be checked in so I don't ever have to check in my luggage. And I just travel with that.
One. Oh my God.
One of the most like a really annoying thing about flights is checking in your bags. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
getting there early and then after just like waiting around like a moron for the luggage.
That's me every time I travel.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I said in the beginning, you got to make better choices.
That's the thing I don't like about travel trading is the packing part. So that's why I ask everyone, all the traders, how do you pack?
Yeah. I got one bag and it's carry-on size. It's a backpack and I fit everything inside of it. But I'll tell you, it's definitely not my first rodeo with traveling. And I've gone through the process of every single time I've traveled, just trying to get, like more and more fine-tuned with it. And then on this trip, I've really dialed it in. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool. That's impressive. Yeah.
Thank you. Like I said, I don't like to just brag or toot my own horn, but when it comes to this, you asked, and when it comes to this luggage situation, I feel like I deserve a little credit for this one.
I'll give you some credits here.
Thank you. Okay, Shay, listen, it has been very cool to sit down with you, and I hate that you're so busy and you need to go. I could just keep this going all night, but I understand. So I'll let you go, but a big thank you for coming on and just sitting down. It was cool to get to know you, and I think maybe you have a bit of a conversation that's not so bullet points about all the stuff you talk about on your trading channel or things you've already said on interviews. So I don't know. Hope you enjoyed just more of a conversation. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. For people that listening, I'm sure we'll be plugging your things down at the bottom. But if somebody just wants to know more about you or to check into more of your actual things, you have a ton of content. Where would you want somebody to be directed to?
Yeah, so to start, make sure to check out my channel on YouTube, Humbled Trader. You can also follow me on Instagram or my website, humbletrader.com.
Very cool. Very cool. Once again, a huge, big thank you for coming on. I'm going to end the recording and then I'll say goodbye to you proper. Okay?
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, thanks for watching to the very end. If you enjoyed this episode, there's a good chance you're going to love the other ones. So spend some time on the channel and make sure you show some love on the way out. Now, if you're struggling with your trading and you'd like my help, everything I'm involved with will be linked in the descriptions. Happy trading.